Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Miss Eleni.
Hi, Yusuf. How are you today, Yusuf?
Fine, thank you.
Nice to see you again, Yusuf. And by the way, this would be our last week. You know that? And you seem so happy. Yeah, and you're beaming with a big smile there. Okay, and hello, Misk.
Hi.
How are you, Misk?
Fine.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
All right, so for now, we have only Yusuf and Miss, and maybe your classmate guys were going to sit in the class a bit later. Okay, so before we start, guys, can you tell me how you're doing? Yusuf?
Fine.
Fine. I hope I will see you soon again, guys, after this COVID, right? And Miss, are you okay there?
Yeah.
All right. So I guess we can start, and some of your classmates can just go with the lesson a bit later. Okay, so our lesson for today, by the way, guys, is preserving culture. So it's not really a huge topic or heavy topic for us for today. All right, so let's begin with the learning objective. Are you guys ready? Yusuf and Miss, are you ready to learn today?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, by the way, Yusuf, I like your background there. It's cool.
Which background do I choose? This or this?
I think the
or
brown,
this?
I guess the second one, the one with kind of blue. Yeah, no, the second one. Do it again. I guess that one is okay. No, yeah, okay. It's cool. All right, so let's begin, guys. So as I said, we're going to talk about preserving culture. The connection is kind of slow, so just bear with it, please. Okay, so our learning objectives for today, by the way, we have two. Yusuf, can you read the first one?
Understand the influence of Sequoia's writing system on Cherokee culture. Okay. Examine ways that cultural heritage is celebrated and preserved.
All right, thank you, Yusuf. So for today, guys, as I've said, we're going to talk about culture and how to preserve it. And we're going to learn and I'm going to give you later some background idea about who is Sequoia and what is Cherokee, or what are the Cherokee's culture. Okay, so let's proceed. Okay, so as I've said, and by the way, have you heard about Cherokee, Yusuf and Misk? Have you heard about it? Not yet in your...
It's a tribe for Native American.
Exactly, so it's one of actually, it's not just a tribe, guys. It is a huge tribe, Native American tribe of United States. Okay, and just to give you, as I said, just to give you a short or brief information about Cherokee. Cherokee is one of the largest tribes in the United States, and they live actually in the area of southeastern part of United States. And today they are called, here, Miss, can you read what are the states down here?
The name Cherokee comes from a...
No, here, Miss, the map. Look at the map here. What are the states that you can find here?
Tennessee, Alabama,
Okay, Tennessee,
South Carolina, North Carolina, and Virginia.
Okay, so those guys are the southeastern part of the United States, and that was before, and now these are the part where the Cherokee people have lived, okay? So here, Yusuf, can you read this one, the first paragraph here?
The name Cherokee comes from a Muscogean.
Actually, it's like Muscogean. Okay.
Muscogean word that means speakers of another language. The Cherokee called themselves the Yunawea.
Okay, what does it mean?
People.
All right, so meaning principal people. So I know, guys, the word is, or the language is kind of challenging, right? Because remember, we're talking about the language of the native people. So here, like Muscogean. So when you see Muscogean, it means the speakers of another language, and Aniyunbiya means the principle of people. All right, so as I said, this one, guys, are the states today that the part of the southeastern that where Cherokee lived before. So we have Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina, and partly of Virginia. Right, so let's proceed. And for the big idea, guys, Yusuf, can you read again?
Growth and change. The United States established a new government and grew larger as more people arrived and lands were acquired. As the nation grows, people are exposed to new ideas that lead to changes in the way history and culture are passed down to new generations.
All right, so actually, Yusuf, that's already the explanation of the big idea of this lesson. So by the way, this is a big idea of all the chapter that we just discussed in the previous week. So the United States established a new government and grew larger as more people arrived and lands were acquired. Remember about Native people, right? So they were the first people that arrived in the United States, and then several people from different parts of the world migrated in the United States. So the nation grows, and then those people are exposed to new ideas that leads to changes of their history and culture. Okay, so now before we go further, guys, can you tell me what is culture? Misk? Yusuf, let me hear from Misk. Yusuf, by the way, earlier in your math, how many students in math attended? How many students have you attended?
5 students and 1 teacher.
Really?
Together, six participants.
Okay, so maybe they were some of your classmates, like Jory and Jory and Sheikha were there.
Yeah.
All right, so maybe they were just a bit late. So let's wait. So by the way, so when you say guys culture, it is a way of life of a group, right? So that's the simplest definition we have for culture. So in short, guys, it is a way of life, how people in a certain group behave or how these people do certain things. So now, can you answer this question? Where can we see the culture of a certain group of people? So where it can be manifested. So when you say, oh, this is the culture of a certain country, like you, Yusuf, in your country and Miss in your country. So can you tell me like, oh, Miss Elni, you know, in our culture is like this. So where can we manifest those culture? Yes, Yusuf, you're raising your hand.
We can see it in museums. And monuments.
So in short, we can see it in tangible way, or remember heritage, right? Remember we talked about in your Qatar history lesson, different kinds of heritage about tangible and intangible. So your answer is more on tangible. So those are museums, like you said. Okay, what else? Where can we find those culture, or where can it be manifested? Like example, I would say, oh, in the Philippines, the culture is like this. So how would I know, guys? Misk, what about you, Misk? Hello, Misk. Yeah, there's so, guys, look at the pictures there on the screen.
And the celebrations.
Exactly. It's
jokes.
One way, guys, culture, actually, the way we celebrate certain, exactly, yes, the way you make jokes, the way we celebrate certain activities, or example, in Qatar. Okay, let's talk about Qatar. What are the celebrations we have here in Qatar?
Sports Day.
What else?
National Day.
Yeah, that's correct. National Day, right? So we have National Day. So through National Day, even Yusuf in your country, okay, Miss, so we're talking about Qatar, so Miss already know about it. And you, Yusuf, remember in your own country, you have your celebration about the National Day, right? Each country is celebrating the National Day. So it is one way, guys, to show the culture of your country. So how people started, so it shows the history or what people have done before. Okay, so here, look at these examples here. Languages, right? So you're speaking Arabic, so that's one thing that comprises culture. And then we have working schedule. Like in your country, Yusuf, can you tell me what is the working schedule? I mean, working days in your country?
I don't know.
Like Monday or something like, start from Monday, like weekdays.
Yes, I never went to there.
All right, so ask your mom about it. Like, what's the working days in your country, okay? Because here in Qatar, we started, I mean, we always work
Start
from Sunday, right?
Sunday,
Exactly, from Sunday
Sunday
to
till
Thursday.
Thursday.
Okay, and then our
And
weekend is,
and
yeah.
in the US, I'm saying
Mhm.
this only because the US is our topic.
Mm-hmm.
Starts
No,
from
actually,
Monday
Yusuf,
till Friday.
yes, not only in the United States, even in my country, and several countries, guys, start their weekdays from Monday to Friday, and then
Miss,
weekend
what would
is
you
Sunday.
rather? Miss, what would you rather?
For
Start at
me,
Monday
actually, either
or
ways.
Sunday?
I think either ways because it's the same thing. Actually, it's you just have to count the number of days, right? 5 days. So regardless, when are you going to start the weekdays?
Me, I want
It's
to
the same
start
thing.
Monday.
Yeah, I guess it's the same
No,
either
no,
way.
I want
For
to
me,
start Sunday. Sunday.
so you just have to pretend, Yusef, that every Sunday, that's Monday for you, right? And then you're going to count still 5 days. And you end up in the same way, right? And then here, second thing, we can have here clothes and dressing. So how people dress up, it shows the culture of a country. Then manners. So as I've said earlier, your celebrations, and then how we crack jokes, our folk arts, like the music, you mentioned this earlier, music, the songs that we have, or some cultural activities that a certain group of people have. Then food, the kind of food we have or we are eating. Then how the child rearing methods, the religion, and then we have medical cure, right? So all these things, guys, comprise or say something about culture. Understood, Misk?
Yeah.
All right, so just to
Miss,
wrap,
you see my Miss, who is behind me? This in the portrait.
I know there's somebody there, you see, but it's just so dark that I didn't really identify what's that. Tell me, what's that?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
I couldn't see it. I mean, it's not clear for me in my side. Okay, later, before we end up, I will find out who's that or who's that picture. Okay, so here, guys, so let's wrap up this part of the lesson. What is culture? So when you see culture, it is seen actually in people's writing, okay, in our religion, in our music, clothes, or even the way we cook up something, or in general, in what people do, right? So let me check first if somebody is here or not yet, guys. Okay, so now let's move on to the next slide. Now let's compare Yusuf and Misk. Misk, can you read today, the one that starts today here?
Today, writing is a common way of people preserving the culture.
Their culture, right? So that's what I mentioned. Today, writing is a common way for people to preserve their culture. And Yusuf, your turn here. Can you read this?
Can you tell me how people before shared their history?
Okay, so here, guys, as I've said today, it's very obvious. So we have books, we can do research, we can go to museums for us to see the culture of a certain place or a certain country, right? So because people before, they're preserving their what they have. Okay, but what about before, guys? Can you tell me? Can you tell me how people before shared their stories? Remember that people before, they don't have the writing thing that they are producing, or they are writing it through their books or publishing what they have before. So tell me, Yusuf and Miss. Yeah,
Miss, I
before,
raised my
just
hand.
try to remember, or try to think about it. Now we are using in the writing form, right? We are expressing, or we are preserving our culture through writing. So what about before? Can you guess? Or can you think about it?
No need to raise my hand. Okay, Miss.
Yeah, tell me. Mm-hmm.
They used to tell stories and tales for their children. So their children, when they know it, they will see their history. Not history. They used to.
Yes, you are
tell
correct.
history and
Exactly,
tales like
Yusuf. Exactly, Yusuf. Remember about heritage, it is a passing of information from generation to generation, right? So people before learned to write, by the way, before people learned to write, they share their story or their history through the stories they told. So it's only like verbally. Okay, so unlike before that we have different means how to preserve the culture. Okay, Miss, are you still there, Miss?
Yeah.
Okay, so now this is what I'm telling you earlier in the learning objective of the lesson about Cherokee, guys. So you already know that Cherokee is one of the largest native tribe people of the United States. But I'm going to give you more information about this Cherokee or this people. So as I mentioned, so they are, or it is one of the largest tribe in the United States of America, right? And this one, guys, Cherokee told each other stories. So this is the one I'm telling you that before they are not doing it through writing. So they are just telling the stories, or they just pass what they've learned or what they know from their kids or from their children, then it will be passed to the next generation. So here, Sequoia. What about Sequoia, Miss and Yusuf? Have you heard about who is Sequoia?
it's a tree.
It's a tree? Where did you learn that, Yusuf, that it's a tree? Tell me.
It's a giant sequoia. That's a tree.
Oh, yeah, I knew that, but it's not about that, Yusuf. It's different Sequoia that we're talking about in the lesson. Okay, so let me give you guys a brief background about Sequoia because this one has something to do with our lesson. Sequoia, by the way, was born into a Cherokee nation. So he's part of the Cherokee tribe. Okay, and then his mother was Wati. Yes, sounds like that. Actually, it spells like Wuttee. So Wati. And not many people know about his early childhood. So he's just a normal kid. Okay, and then in the end of the day, he wanted to make an alphabet, guys, for the Cherokee to communicate. So he thought that, what if I'm going to create something that I could help my people? So that's how he started everything. So first, he tried to make symbol of every word, like in Chinese. Remember the character of Chinese in the writing, guys. It's not only like, oh, I have to scribble this way. It's like drawing. Actually, every character, guys, has a meaning for Chinese. So that's what Sequoia also did in the language for Cherokee. Okay, so he learned it, guys. So he developed his ideas until the Cherokee learned it, and these people became literate. What do you mean by literate, by the way? If you are literate, what does it mean?
They can read and write.
Exactly. So when you're literate, so these people, Cherokee guys, learn how to read and write because of the help of Sequoia. So Sequoia, because of that, became a hero for the Cherokee people because of this written language that they've learned from him. Okay, so look at this information down here. So in 1821, the Cherokee Nation, guys, adopted Sequoia's writing system. So can you tell me what's the year? Okay, example, today is 2020, right? So this one, 1821. Yusuf, can you do the math?
1821. Okay.
Yes, today is
2020.
2020, right? So
Okay,
how many years? And Miss,
2020.
let me see also, Miss. So what's the answer, Miss? So from 1820 and today is 2020. So how many years passed already? I'll give you a second to do your math. So let's see who's very good in math.
299 years.
Sorry?
299 years.
What about Miss? I want to hear from Miss. What about your answer, Miss? 1821. So 2020, you just have to deduct it from 1821. So how many years is that, Miss? What is your answer, Yusuf? Yusuf, what is your answer? Yusuf,
So
what
I
is your
need to add
answer?
the years. Miss, wait. So I need to add the years till I get to 2020?
Yusuf, I'm asking you how many years passed? Today's 2020, right? So you're just going to do
299
that.
years.
So 18,
299 years.
21. What about Misk? Okay, so 199 years passed, okay? And soon, guys, there was a Cherokee newspaper and constitution written in Cherokee. Wow, could you imagine that? Before, they don't have the language. And soon enough, because of the help of Sequoia, so it was published in the newspaper, the information that they have, the part of their history, and even the constitution is written in Cherokee.
Did they name the tree
It's amazing,
after his name?
right? Not no,
Did
not
they name
exactly.
the tree after his name?
No, not exactly, Yusuf. It's just a language, so you can
Well,
see
they name
there.
her after the tree. Miss,
No, no.
if they don't name the tree because of her, they name her because of the tree.
I will find out if it's right, Yusuf. So here you can find here, look at their languages, and soon later you can check in YouTube or in Google, guys, what are example of their alphabet. So look at this one. It's not so clear here because I just copied this. Okay. So can we go
Let
on?
me see. I'm gonna just open Google.
Yeah, you can check it later. And you can see the difference, guys, how the development of the languages has changed. Okay. Hello, Miss.
You told me what is the year?
Okay, so now let's continue here.
21.
Okay, so let's move on here. So since people celebrate their custom as a way of preserving their heritage, right? Okay, let's go back to heritage, Miss and Yusuf.
Miss, can you allow me to make share screen so I can show you?
Later, Yusuf, because I don't know what you have found there. Maybe later, but not today, okay? Show me that later. I'm very willing to see what's that. Okay, so people, as I said, celebrate their custom as a way of preserving their heritage. But before I discuss, guys, can you recall what this heritage means? Yusuf and Miss, remember in Qatar history? What is heritage? Let me see if you still remember that concept of heritage. Tell me, what is it? I think
heritage is two things: material heritage and non-material heritage.
Okay, you said, but before that, yes, you're correct.
Some heritage that can be seen and touched, but some heritage it cannot be seen.
But
no
Yusuf,
it can be heard.
Yusuf, listen to me. I hope you are not searching the answer.
No, I'm not searching the answer.
Thank you, Yusuf. Yeah, I just want to make sure. And Miss, okay, just to recall, guys, when you see heritage.
Okay, Miss, I got it.
Yes, that's Yusuf. Thank you. Yeah, that's an example of their characters, okay? Or their alphabet, actually. Okay, so just to recap, grade 5. Okay, so when you say heritage, Yusuf, just give me a second. So when you say heritage, includes everything that our fathers and forefathers have passed down generation after generation. Remember, sounds familiar to you? Yusuf and Misk?
I can't do.
Yes.
Okay, so now, as Yusuf mentioned earlier, we have two kinds of heritage, right? Yusuf, can you tell me again? Or Miss, can you tell me what are the two types of heritage?
Material heritage and non-material.
Exactly, thank you, Miss. So we have types of heritage. We have the so-called material or tangible, and we have non-material, or another word it's called actually, guys, intangible heritage. Okay, give me an example of material, Yusuf.
Yes.
Material museums.
Yusuf, I cannot hear you. Give me
museums.
one example. Okay. So something that we can see, right? So you have
museums, libraries, books.
All right, thank you, Yusuf, for
monuments.
your idea. Okay, what about MISC? What about example, MISC, of non-material heritage? Can you give me one example, MISC? There are several, right? What are the example of non-material heritage? Remember, the first one is something that we can see. So those are towers, we have castles, forts. What about something that we cannot see, but it's part of the culture or heritage of a certain place or country? Tell me. Do you have an idea, Miss?
No.
You should revisit the lesson we have in Qatar history, okay? So Yusuf, what about you, Yusuf? Can you help me?
What is the question?
Example of non-heritage or non-material heritage.
Not material heritage,
Mhm.
stories, traditions, folk tales.
Thank you. You understood, Miss? So those are those are the heritage, guys, like our customs, our traditions, or it includes the beliefs or traditional knowledge that we have, like for our songs and stories. All right, so can we move on, guys?
Miss,
Yeah, tell me.
the language.
Yeah, I can see it, Yusuf. Thank you for searching.
Miss?
Yeah, I can see. Yes, Miss?
Miss, why
I'm
is
just
it
going to the
so
toilet.
weird?
Wait, Yusuf, Miss is saying something. What is that, Miss?
Miss, I'm just going to the toilet.
What's that?
I'm going to the toilet.
All right, no problem. You may. Okay, so we have here.
Miss, they take some letters from our language, the English.
Yes, actually
They
there are
take
some.
X,
Yes, Yusuf, exactly.
R, W, J, V, C.
Yeah, actually those languages, actually the characters we have, the alphabets we have, remember it all started from Native American. Okay, so what we
So
have
they
right
did not
now,
take from us, we took from them.
yes, of course. How can they talk it if it's from the past, right? So this is what I'm telling you. So we pattern what we have right now, what we are enjoying is something to do with from the past. Okay, so like that, you're saying about the alphabet that you're telling me some of the letters is something to do with our alphabet. Okay, so let's wait for a bit for Miss. By the way, Yusuf, look at this one. Look at in the screen here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the government, okay, certain government actually, Yusuf, set aside certain months of the year to celebrate their national or their nation's diversity of culture. Example, here in Qatar, what month are we celebrating the National Day?
December.
December. What about in your country? Do you know what month you're celebrating
I don't remember. Wait, I'm gonna ask my mom.
Yusuf, remember, you should learn something. Even you are in Qatar, you should learn something from your country because it's your country, right?
I'm gonna ask my mom.
No worries, Yusuf. I can wait for that. Hello, Miss. Are you still there?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. So, Yusuf, I don't know why Yusuf just left. Okay, Yusuf, tell me.
I went and asked my dad. My dad said 17 April.
Okay, so it's the month of April. So here, guys, look at this one we have on the screen. Can you see it clearly? Can you see it, guys? Okay, so
Yes.
for example, Miss, can you read in February? What's the celebration in February?
African American history.
All right, so but before that, I forgot to read this with you. So activities, guys, like storytelling, songwriting, and art in the form of special part of cultural festivals and rituals and of worship. So for example, in the month of February, there is a celebration of African American history. So like right here in this picture, guys, okay? And what about May, Yusuf?
May, Asian Pacific American heritage.
Okay, right here. So African, you already got the idea what are the African countries, right? So it's something, look, guys, African American. So something with a combination of African and
What is
American.
Hispanic heritage?
Okay, I will tell you that, but let's discuss this first. Asia Pacific. So those are the Asian countries. Okay, like Philippines. Okay, what about September? Yes, Yusuf, we are celebrating National
Latino
Hispanic
Hispanic
Heritage. Okay, those countries that speak, what do you think? Give me a
Mexican.
wild guess. So what's the language? Who said that, Misk?
Yeah.
Tell me what's the language of Mexico, Misk?
Spanish.
Very good. All right, Yusuf. So those are the Spanish-speaking countries, Yusuf. All right. And November, Yusuf, can you read? What's the celebration in November?
National American Indian Heritage.
Okay.
It's the last one.
Yes. So now we're talking about the National American Indian Heritage. So those are how Native people started everything, guys. So that's in the month of November. Okay, so before we end up, we still have 2 slides here, guys. So let's make it quick before we finish the time. Okay, Yusuf, read for us.
What do you think is the role of
No,
museums?
not yet. Museum first, Yusuf. This one first. Museums and
other organizations also play an important role in preserving cultural history.
Okay, so can you tell me, what do you think is the role of museums in preserving the history of the country? You told me earlier, right, that it is a type of heritage, which is material heritage. So now, what do you think is the role? We know that it is way of preserving the cultural heritage of our country. So what do you think is the role of the museum? Okay, start with you.
It takes the ancient things and keeps it inside. And it shows some facts for people to see it, so they can learn more about history.
Brilliant answer, Yusuf. Thank you. What about from Misk? What do you think, Misk, is the role of museum in preserving the cultural history?
They keep old stuff.
So by keeping those old stuff, what can we learn from it, Misk?
The history.
Yes, you're almost there, Misk. So they're keeping the old stuff, right? From the past, of course. So what does it mean to us? So by keeping all those old stuff, what can we learn?
How it used to be back.
Exactly, right? So in short, Yusuf and me, so these museums that we have, so they are one important way of preserving the cultural history is through the museums, guys. So first thing, they display the arts and crafts that people have made. And then the example, I don't know here in Qatar, but I believe that there are some museums, guys, that they sponsors exhibits and celebrations that help people remember the past, all right? Okay, so we yeah, tell me, Yusuf.
In the Edmodo, I got in by the code of last time.
What subject is it?
I want you to put a new code.
What subject, Yusuf?
I mean, when you want to do a Zoom meeting, just put the code.
It's the same, Yusuf. Okay, don't worry in the next meeting, but actually this is the last meeting, Yusuf, and sad to say for that. Yeah. Yes, Yusuf, today is the last week, but I'm so glad, guys, that I'm seeing you right now. Okay, so before we end up, we have here one more slide. So Americans actually preserve their culture in many ways. Okay, look at these pictures we have here. Okay, so I'll give you time to see and take a look, guys. What are they doing? Okay, Miss and Joseph. Look at those pictures.
All the small children are.
Okay, look at the first one here. Okay, they are in, obviously they are in the school setting, right?
Yeah.
So children are listening to story. Okay, and what about this one? So these are the different kinds of preserving, guys, or one way to preserve the culture of a certain place. Okay, what about this picture?
There's mandar, there is tiger.
Mm-hmm.
They are Africans.
Exactly, Yusuf, you are correct. So they are actually, guys, African American family, which who are celebrating Kwanzaa. Okay, I'm going to research something about it and I will tell you. But it's another celebration for the African American
So I
family.
search and give you.
Kwanzaa, Yusuf. Okay, Kwanzaa. So it spells K-W-A.
I search.
Yeah, you can learn something from that. Yeah. Okay, I'll tell you the spelling. K-W-A-N-Z.
Z.
And you to miss, okay? So that would be your work for today. So just try to research something about what is Kwanzaa celebration and how this African American family celebrate.
I found something.
Okay, Kwanzaa, yes, what is that? Share it in the class, you said.
Chat. Open chat. You opened it?
Yeah,
and,
tell me. Later you
I
said.
wrote. Kwanzaa, I read.
No, I'll
I
get back
read.
to you for that because we don't have much time, Yusuf. We have 3 minutes left, so we need to wrap up this lesson, okay? I'm sorry. And by the way, yeah, you can have time, guys. Try to research about that kind of celebration, okay? So let me know how these Native American people celebrate Kwanzaa. And this one, and right here, so you can see that these people are teaching, or the older people teaching their younger generation how to cook or how to write in a traditional way. So there are different ways, grade 5, how to preserve the culture of a certain country, right? As I've said, you've learned several things from your Qatar history lesson as well, right? So
Yeah.
preserving the heritage is very important because we can learn from the national, or we can preserve the national identity of our place, of our certain community, or we can study the history of a certain country. Okay? So Yusuf and Miss, if you have any question, please let me know. Okay,
Miss,
you can just
me.
yes, Yusuf, before we end up the lesson.
Why didn't Miss Joel come?
Because she has also a Zoom meeting in grade 6. So we just decided, so in grade 5 that I will be doing it, and in grade 6, so she can focus in grade 6. Yeah, earlier, before we started the lesson, she already got the lesson. And she said hi to you. She saw you actually before we started. Okay, so Yusuf and Miss, I hope I can see you soon, and always take care, as I always say. Okay, so bye for now, guys. Always take care.
Bye.
All right, bye.